Now, I'm not one to gossip, but I will bring you the tea. Welcome to Chronicle Speaks.
Please, I don't have any time for any gossip now. Eh? Yes.
Look at you.
So we are going to move away from talking about the diddler today, and we are going to talk about Kelvin Hunter wanting to reinstate his marriage to Wendy Williams. I know you're thinking, what the?
I'm going to keep working. My legacy is not over. Whatever I have to do for the legacy, that still includes my entire family, is still not over.
Wendy Williams' ex-husband, Kelvin Hunter, is looking to overturn his divorce to Wendy Williams. What does that mean? That means that if approved, they will be husband and wife again. But her guardian, Sabrina Morrissey, is fighting tooth and nail to make sure that doesn't happen. So what's going on? Kelvin is saying that Wendy had a total holding of $7 million when they divorced. But if you recall, a few months ago, Wendy Williams' best friend, Regina Shell, stated in an affidavit that Wendy had $55 million in her account. So Kelvin is wanting to vacate and set aside their final divorce judgment based on fraud, misrepresentation, and misconduct. Will the judge go for it? I don't know. What we're going to do is get into this story and so much more, but before we do, please be sure to subscribe to this channel and hit the bell for notifications so you don't miss out on any news regarding this story and so much more. Now let's get back into it. So me seeing the news this morning of Big Kev wanting to overturn his divorce to Wendy Williams had me shocked to say the least, but let's go ahead and get into this story to find out what's going on. So this story is coming from the U.S. Sun, and it says this: exclusive, Wendy's nightmare. Wendy Williams' ex-husband Kevin Hunter demands divorce be overturned because she hid $48 million from him in settlement. The article goes on to say, according to court documents exclusively obtained by the U.S. Sun, Kevin Hunter is petitioning the court to vacate and set aside their final divorce judgment based on fraud, misrepresentation, and misconduct. So let's get into what that means in court terms to set aside the divorce judgment, because I really want to get your wheels spinning and see if you guys are starting to think what I'm thinking. Setting aside a divorce judgment means that the court nullifies or cancels the previous divorce decree. It effectively treats the divorce as if it never happened. So let's get into why Kelvin wants to go this route. Now, in a Wells Fargo portfolio report from May 2019, when the couple divorced, submitted into the case by her guardian, Wendy appeared to have $7,319,032.15 in what is listed as her total holdings. Now, generally speaking, total holdings refers to the complete amount of assets or investments that an individual or entity owns. Baby, let me find out Wendy was in there doing the Ike Turner too.
What I got left, I got some clothes, I got some jewelry. The rest I got tied up in investments. I ain't got nothing else.
You and I both know Wendy Williams had more than $7 million in her account when she divorced Kelvin, but let's continue. The article goes on to say, however, as the U.S. Sun previously reported, the former daytime TV host's best friend, Regina Shell, submitted an affidavit into the divorce proceeding alleging that Wendy had a total of $55 million in her account as of 2022. Now, just to update you on what happened with that story, in June of 2024, Regina Shell submitted an affidavit to the New Jersey court stating that in July of 2022, Wendy asked her to come and stay with her for some time, and during that visit, Wendy showed her a Wells Fargo cumulative balance that she had in her account for $55 million. And during this visit, Wendy expressed to her best friend Regina that she wanted to possibly change her financial institution as well as explore options regarding her estate. That December, Wendy and Regina met with Bank of America's private banking group, which included the senior vice president, private client advisor, wealth strategy, and marketing director, and they talked about all of the products that they had available. After that, Regina alleges that she and Wendy got in the car with Sabrina Morrissey. Wendy handed documents over to Sabrina, and a few days later, Wendy's publicist contacted Regina stating that Wendy had a conversation with Sabrina, and at that time, Sabrina told Wendy there was no money left.
Whatever I have to do for the legacy, that still includes my entire family, is still not over.
I'm still trying to get your wheels spinning. I don't know if y'all caught up with me yet, but let's continue. Defrauded in the divorce. That's where Kevin claims he was defrauded. Citing Regina's affidavit in the court filing, Kevin alleged that the extra $48 million was fraudulently concealed in the divorce. In her response filing, Wendy's guardian Sabrina Morrissey claimed that Kevin was aware of the various accounts Wendy held, and she addressed the affidavit filed by the host's best friend claiming she had another $48 million in the bank. I cannot address what Regina thinks she saw or heard, what a third person thinks she heard, or what that third person may or may not have reported to Regina, Sabrina wrote in her filing on Wendy's behalf. In his papers, Kevin affirmingly states that Wendy showed Regina her financial statements. Kevin was not there and has no personal knowledge of whether or not this interaction occurred. It seems like Sabrina is going all around the mulberry bush. We want to know, was there $55 million in the account? And did you tell Wendy that it was no longer there? And if you told her that, where did that money go to? Wendy's guardian argues that at the time of the divorce, Kevin stated he was fully satisfied and understood the process and had consulted with professionals to be fully aware of the assets and his rights with regard to such assets, and that as such, he has absolutely no case to reopen the divorce proceeding. I'm no attorney, so I would like my legal eagles to answer this for me. If Kevin was told something and he was okay with what he was told, then that's one thing, but if Kevin was lied to and he was okay with that lie, not knowing it was a lie, wouldn't that be something different? I'm seriously asking my legal eagles, is there any possibility that this case could be reopened? So just to note, Kelvin and this guardian have been going back and forth for the longest, and he has been giving her the business. Now, according to Kevin, he is arguing that Wendy's guardian, who is a New York attorney and holds guardianship over Wendy in the state, is not licensed in New Jersey where the divorce is held. He also is arguing she is not a party to the divorce case and therefore shouldn't be allowed to represent Wendy in court. In a filing in July, Kelvin argued that Wendy's guardian is not an attorney barred in New Jersey, and he questioned her right to represent the former TV host. He called Sabrina's representation of Wendy akin to practicing law without a license, as she is neither a barred attorney nor a guardian appointed by a New Jersey court in court filings. He also took issue with Sabrina representing Wendy pro se, a legal term for representing oneself without a lawyer, because she is not a party to the divorce and therefore should not be involved in this proceeding. And if you recall, just last week, Wendy Williams' ex-husband filed a motion with the court demanding that Wendy attend the divorce court hearing in person. During that hearing, the judge heard everything that Mr. Hunter had to say in regards to Ms. Morrissey possibly not being able to represent Wendy Williams in New Jersey, being that she is a New York-based attorney. During that same hearing, the judge gave Ms. Morrissey 21 days to prove to the court that she has the authority to represent Wendy in New Jersey. In the last paragraph, Kelvin says this: "It is conceivable that based on the history of Ms. Morrissey as it relates to allegations of malfeasance regarding persons that she is the guardian of in New York, that Ms. Wendy Williams may not need a guardian according to the laws of the state of New Jersey." Kelvin keeps saying protecting the legacy, and if I don't do it, who else is gonna do it? We may not like this man, but I feel like when it comes to Sabrina, he is playing a game of chess. Wendy was just able to talk about Diddy without any problems. This lady is not as far gone as many people will want to think she is, and I believe that Kelvin is trying to get her to come to court so she can speak to a judge and let a judge know, or someone in a higher position know, what has been going on with her, and not in New York. Because New York is where the guardianship was given to Sabrina anyway, and they said a lot of those judges was crooked when it came to those guardians just so they could get the vote. I believe that Kelvin feels like, just like many of you, if Sabrina continues this guardianship of Wendy, all of the money is going to be gone. There's not going to be anything left. I believe Kelvin feels like desperate times calls for desperate measures, and he is trying any way possible to get Sabrina out of the picture. Now, should we trust him? Hell to the no. To the no, no, no. But can we trust Sabrina? It seems like Kelvin is trying to make this divorce null and void to push Sabrina out of the picture, because if she's draining funds, nobody's gonna have anything. Kelvin is fighting tooth and nail, but I don't know if reversing this divorce is going to be the answer, child. We gotta find another way, Kelvin. We gotta find another way. If the divorce is canceled and Kelvin is once again her husband, does that cancel the possibility of her being able to have a guardian? Does that automatically make him the guardian for her? Leave a comment, let me know.
God, pray for my ex-wife, pray for Wendy Williams, Hunter, pray for Wendy Williams, pray that for the family, pray for everybody that's involved. And whatever I'm out here doing, and whatever people think I'm doing, guess what? If I don't go out here and do it, who the What we gonna do? We gonna just let everybody, whatever the display is, whoever's in charge, they clearly don't care. So, and I've been minding my business. I've been doing what I gotta do to make these announcements that I'm about to make to show that I am working hard. I'm gonna keep working. My legacy is not over. Whatever I have to do for the legacy, that still includes my entire family, is still not over. My son is looking. My daughter's looking. My lady is looking. Everybody's looking now. So at this point, you know, if you don't really care, if you still caught up on that geometry or that news about whatever, you don't really see what's going on here, the real plight, then okay. But please, I'm going to ask you to please refrain, you women, refrain from my comments. Refrain, go get a life, go get a man, go get some peace, go do whatever you need to do. But please stop worrying about Kelvin.
Tell me what you feel about Kelvin and this fight for the legacy, child. Leave a comment and you know how we do. We'll talk about it down below. Talk to you guys later. Bye. As always, thanks for watching. But before you go, don't forget to subscribe to this channel, like this video, and hit the bell for notifications so you don't miss out on any of my new episodes.